Good morning, everyone. Um, my name is NUR INSYIRAH. I'm from Group 1. I would like to talk about Chapter 8, which is Developing Interpersonal Competence. I'm the third speaker. So basically, I'm going to continue the material from Improving Your Competence Online. The second part, which is how to communicate competently online for 7 steps. So let's get started. So the first step is match the gravity of your message to your communication medium. So basically in this first step, you need to know when to use online encounters and when to use offline encounters, because sometimes online encounters is quick, so it depends on what information do you want to get. For example, like testing someone, asking how are you, probably. It's way better for online, and offline is sometimes it's way better to use it if you want to talk about something like important information, like especially something that has relation with feelings, like engagement or asking someone out. It's probably to use offline encounters and talk to someone directly face to face. And the second steps is don't assume that online communication is always more efficient, because sometimes online communication is not that efficient. Sometimes if you want a quick response from someone, they're probably gonna respond you that fast compared to the online one. So the offline one, I'm sorry. I mean, like if you ask someone in face to face, you can get a quick information instead of texting them in online. So the third step is know the code, meaning that you need to know the norms when to typing someone, when to use capital letters, and the punctuation, the acronym, something like that. You need to know when and how to use it appropriately. So yeah, the fourth point, the fourth steps is presume that your actual audience is much larger than your intended, and that your postings are permanent. So basically in this point, in this step, gonna say is that think before you post, because not all the people doing this, they just like posting whatever they want before thinking of it. So you need to know that whatever you post in the internet, it's probably gonna floating around in the cyberspace years later. It's the same with the video that I post in YouTube. I need to be careful with this video, because this probably gonna this video gonna be in floating around in cyberspace. And the five steps is practice the art of creating email drafts. So email drafts is actually important, because you can type the email first and keep it for in the drafts, and later on you can visiting it and editing it based on the appropriateness, effectiveness, and ethic, to avoid regret, because make sure you type something that you will never regret. And the next step is be wary of the emotionally seductive qualities of online interaction. So this is actually relatable, because some people probably feel closer with someone in online instead of in offline. So let me read this for you. Research shows that people often feel more intimate they've met online than offline one, because words take a more important and intensity than during face-to-face interaction. So what research found that people feel closer with someone that they communicate online instead of the offline one, because basically in online they just type it, right? And typing is way easier. They don't even need to see your non-verbal communication, so be careful for that. And the last step is talk to strangers. Well, you need to be careful when you meet on talk to stranger, not only in online one, but it also for the offline one. But you need to make sure that take the advantage of the amazing connection you can forge online. Means that probably you're gonna meet someone online, someone that you share interest with, so it's okay to talk to them, to talk to stranger, as long as you're still be careful for that. Okay, next part is improving. Wait a minute, I'm gonna move the slide. Improving your intercultural competence. So in improving your intercultural competence, there are 2 points of them. The first one is war-minded, and the second one, remember, check your perceptions and practice empathy. So I'm going to explain about war-minded first. So war-minded is basically acceptance and respect for others' belief, values, and customs. Okay, so there are actually 3 steps in the PDF book. So I'm gonna read this for you. Okay, I didn't put it on the slide, so you can listen the text that I'm reading for you. The first is accept others' expression of their culture as a natural element. So you need, basically it says that you need to accept other expression of their culture. It is natural, so you don't have to think that it is weird, because every culture is weird on their ways. We can't presume that others are better and others are worse. And the second step to be work-minded person, which is the avoid the temptation to evaluate others' viewpoint as better or worse than your culture. So I'm just realizing it. I put it on the slide. It is on the slide 11. So how to be war-minded person. The second point is it means that we can't presume that someone is better, has better culture, and we can presume that someone has worse culture, because actually culture is very there are many variation of culture in this world. Their beliefs, attitudes, and values probably different. So we need to be minded to um, to improve our intercultural competence and communication. And the last is consistently treat people from different cultures with respect. This is the most important thing that because we need to respect others ethically. How could we communicate perfectly and with highly competence with others people if we don't respect others, right? Because that's the key. I mean, like, if you respect others, you're gonna get respected. So that's the point. So that's the key how to be work-minded person. And the next part is remember to check your perception and practice empathy. So basically, you need to check your perception over something. We can't. We need to know that someone's behavior probably caused by multiple and complicated causes. We can't just barely judging them by their behavior, because probably there is something behind it. For example, someone who is acting rebels and always mad all the time, who don't come to the class and have an absent, probably there is something behind them. There is a painful story, like probably their parents got divorced, or probably they their parents leave them. We never know. So that's why we need to check our perception. If you want to check your perception, you need to observe and analyze the forces influencing it. What is actually influencing people's behavior, and if you know it, and if you already observe and analyze it, you will feel the empathy inside you. You'll feel like, oh, that's why it happened to A. Oh, that's why what happened to B, because there is something, there is a reason, or causes behind the she or his behavior. So I guess, oh, let me read for you one last. In the why intercultural gap, try to see things from others' perspectiveness, ask the reason, and accept and validate their explanation. So, in intercultural gap, we need to ask someone their perspective. For example, why do you doing this? And they will answer because blah blah blah. And if they answer, you need to accept, oh yeah, accept their answer and validate their explanation, and that's it. There is no way to you can't, you can't presume that, um, oh, I know people like you act this way because you think blah blah blah. We need to avoid to presume that we know everything. Like, I'm sure you're given your background, you thought that blah blah blah. We can't presume that we know everything, because um, the, it's, yeah, that's the rules. That's the key for improving your perception and having the empathy towards other to improve your intercultural competence. I guess that's all the explanation for me. If you have something that is difficult for you to understand, you can ask in via WhatsApp, or if the time was limited, you might ask me personally in WhatsApp. So, I think that's all for me. Let's continue. You may continue to watch another video of the fourth speaker. Thanks for stopping by. See you again next time. After this pandemic, of course. Hope you stay healthy and hope you stay healthy. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.